Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Myself Shiv Prasad. I hope you are all doing great. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to tap the bell icon so that you won't miss any updates from my end. Let's get into today's video. Today we are going to solve one more medium level problem. We will be given, by the way, this is day 4 of December Leetcode challenge. We will be given one integer array nums and we need to return the minimum average difference. Let's try to understand the problem statement carefully. If you look at this input array, it has the input elements like 2, 4, 3, 9, 5, 3. If we carefully observe the average difference at index 0. So by the way, the average difference can be calculated 2 divided by 1 here minus rest of the elements. That is nothing but 5 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3 divided by 5. So how the formula here is, so wherever if you are at ith position, okay, so the difference is going to be sum of I elements plus I plus 1. This is average, I mean to say, and this is the leftover elements. When you are at index 0, so you have left with 5 elements, so you sum all these 5 elements, that will come around 25 divided by 5. So this is all about the average. If you carefully observe, when you are at ith index, you will be having the first I plus 1 elements of nums and the average of last n plus 1 elements. If you carefully observe here, what are the I plus 1 elements here? So if I at 0, I plus 1, that is nothing but 1. So here only 2 is the 1 element. So average of 2 divided by 1 is nothing but 2 minus this is 5, and we need to take the absolute value, that is nothing but 3 here, minus 3 of course, but absolute value of minus 3 is going to be 3. So we need to take this 3 aside, and likewise we need to keep on applying this rule. So at the second time, so the average of I elements, so if I is equals to 1, then I plus 1 elements are going to be 2 plus 5, right? So 2 plus 5, 7 divided by 2, which returns me 3. 3 minus the leftover elements is going to be 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3, 12 plus 8, 20. 20 divided by 4, that is nothing but 5. So 3 minus 5, the absolute value is going to be 2. So if you carefully observe, previously we got average 3, now we got average 2. That means this is the minimum average, right, compared to the previous one. Then we need to take its index into the consideration. So at which index this happened? At index number 1. So that's the reason we need to take index is equals to 1. So the goal is at the end we need to return the index at which we got the minimum average after performing this operation. I hope you understood the problem statement. Let's get into the actual implementation. If my input is of 2, 3, 5, 9, 253, 953, I believe. Let me cross check. Yeah, 253, 953. 253953. If my input is of this, so the first and foremost step is I'm going to find the sum of these all elements, because that is essential for me to know what the left sum and right sum. Yeah, I will come to that part. So the sum of all elements is going to be 27 here. So assume we stored in a sum variable. Then what we are going to do here is we are going to take two pointers, assume left sum, right sum. Okay. So the ultimate goal is when you are at, at a given position. So assume here I equal to 0. Okay, no matter where you are, when you are at given position, you need to take the sum of all its left elements and you need to take the average. As well as you need to take sum of all the right elements and you need to take average of these elements. And at then you need to, what I can say, minus this answer and this answer. Assume the sum of average of left elements given you x and average of right elements given you y. Then just do xy and take its absolute value and track the minimum and we need to return. So that's too simple. Okay, tracking and giving that. So, but how we can know what I can say, what is the left sum and right sum? That's a whole purpose behind taking this particular sum. Now let's assume we are starting from 0 and we go till length n, assume array length is n and I plus plus. Here what we are going to do here is every time we are going to increment this left sum and we are going to decrement this right sum. So what I mean by that? So my left sum is going to be, okay, left sum plus whatever the current value of left sum plus nums of I. So initially nums at 0 and left sum is 0 initially, right sum also 0. So now left sum is going to be what? 2, right, after performing this. And try to understand this. In order to get the right sum, actual right sum value. So what is the right sum value? Now you are at this position and right sum is going to be this only. So 5 plus 3, 8 plus 9, 17, 17 plus 5, 22, 22 plus 3, 25. So your total sum is 27 and your right sum needs to be 25. That means your right sum is going to be whatever the sum minus left sum, right? In this way, you are going to get every time the actual right sum value. Now it's too simple. Take the left sum elements average, right sum elements average. How you take the left sum? So your left sum is going to be left sum divided by I plus 1. Why I plus 1? Assume your current I value is 0. 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1 because there is going to be one element for this left sum. So 2 divided by 1 which returns me 2. Okay, and your right sum is simply n minus I minus 1 where n is the length of array. Here the length is 6. 6 minus I is 0 minus 1, that is nothing but 5. So that is what we need. So right sum means 25. 25 divided by 5, that is nothing but 5. Now take the absolute value, 2 minus 5, that is nothing but 3. I hope you are getting my point. Let's try to see and go further. And here carefully observe one more edge case, 253953. Okay. So it's okay if you are going from here. So assume you are at this position where your I is equals to 5. Do you have any right elements? No, right? So at this position, your output is going to be 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3 divided by 6. That is nothing but total length, right? So at this stage, okay, you need to have some extra condition in order to what I can say get your right sum. So when your n minus I minus 1, okay, your I is nothing but 6, sorry, 5 here, minus 1, 6, 6 minus 6 nothing but 0, okay. When you are getting this value as 0, then simply take your right sum as 0, okay. Don't do any operation. The reason here is you are keep on incrementing the left and keep on decrementing the right and you are now at the last index, so that means there is no elements in the right, so absolutely your right sum is going to be 0 only, right? So that's the reason you just need to take the 0 and that we are going to what I can say take as a extra condition while trying to find the average difference. I hope you understood the problem statement followed by the solution approach, and it is going to be very easy when you look at the code also. So, what are the time and space complexities? The space complexity is going to be big O of 1 because we are not taking any additional data structure to store the L elements. We are taking simply a constant variables. The time complexity is going to be big O of n, okay, for to find the sum of elements, and big O of n to find the left sum and right sum, so which eventually big O of n only. I hope you understood this. Let's go to the coding part and try to see. And here is my last submitted code. Try to understand carefully. So first I took a value n, it is going to hold nums of length and a result 0, and I just took a minimum because I need to hold, right, which particular element has average difference, right, minimum average. So that's the reason. So I'm initially assigned to max value, and I'm having this sum and this left sum and this right sum. So initially I am taking this sum. Why the reason long I took? Because the number of elements in the nums, okay, is going to be big O of, sorry, n to the power of 5, so which go beyond the actual integer range. So that's the reason I took long here in order to accommodate that high range value. And now I'm going to iterate from I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So every time, as I said, I'm incrementing the left sum. So initially left sum is going to be 0, 0 plus nums of 0. What is nums of 0? Let's take this as an example. So 2. Left sum is going to be 2 here. Let me take a pen and explain you here. So left sum is going to be 2 here initially. Then right sum is equals to sum minus 27. What is the sum? Sum is going to be 27 actually. 27 minus 2, that is nothing but 25. Okay, left sum is 2, right sum is 25. Now I am taking the absolute difference. So here observe here inside this brackets. Left sum is 2. 2 divided by I is 0, I plus 1, that is nothing but 2. This is 1 which returns me 2 minus whatever I am getting. Here I am checking if my n minus I equal to 1. Okay. The reason n minus I equal to 1, why I am doing here is, so assume my index is 5. I mean to say I am at the fifth index and here total length is 6. So absolutely I am at last element. If I'm at last in element, then the right sum is going to be 0 only, right? So that's the reason 6 minus 5 equal to 1. That indicates I am at the last index, that means the last element. So at the time I'm taking right sum as 0. Otherwise, if that is not the case, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take right sum, assume for I equals 0, right sum is 25. 25 divided by what is n? 6 minus I 0 minus 1, that is nothing but 5, which returns me what? 5. So 2 minus 5, the absolute value is going to be 3, and I'm going to store the 3 here in the difference. And I will check whether my difference is less than minimum. If my difference is less than minimum, I'm going to store that into the minimum, and I'm going to take this particular index into the consideration. At the end, I'm going to return whatever the result I'm going to have. This result is nothing but the index, at which index we are getting the minimum average length. That's all we are doing here. I hope you understood. Let's give a run. Yeah, let's run code. Great. I'm submitting. Yeah, it got submitted successfully. I hope you learned something new today. If you have any doubt, please do subscribe and please do comment. I will get back to you. Thanks a lot.